Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Wednesday, the 21st of September 2022. Thanks for joining me. I want to use the Zilliq Tarot for today's reading. Let's see what these cards have to say about Wednesday and what this day is going to look like. Oops. Whoopsie. Okay, so it seems like all the cards are upright except this one. Okay, I'm going to turn that around. Shuffle the cards a few times. And I think I might get 4 cards to see what's happening today. Let's have a look. Okay, so first card, we've got the Ace of Swords. That kind of looks like the Tower to me. It's the outline of a man, but I thought this was the Tower initially. Okay, so that's interesting. Next, we've got the Sun. 19th card in the Major Arcana, and a really good sign when this card shows up. Next, we've got the Empress. Okay, new beginnings, love. And finally, the Four of Discs. The Four of Discs is about being miserly and confusing your financial and physical security with your actual spiritual security. And it's interesting that I thought this was the Tower, something blowing up. The Ace of Swords is actually a gift from the universe when it comes to your ideas and thinking. So if you've got into this mode where you're thinking in very kind of within set parameters and you don't feel free, then the first message I get via these cards is that there's an intellectual and spiritual breakthrough where you see things differently and you really look at all the options and you stop censoring yourself. If there's been a situation in your life that you haven't been able to resolve, or if you felt trapped or flat or like you haven't got a sense of direction, the first thing that this day does, I feel, is it delivers new ideas that make it feel like these blue crystal shards are kind of popping out of your head. And it allows you to blow up any restrictive thinking or anything where you're afraid or you do censor yourself, or you've even managed to kind of lie to yourself or kid yourself into a certain type of thinking that creates less freedom in your life and that makes you restricted and locked down in some way. And then both these cards in the center, this is really then about your true nature as you really are before the censorship, before you kind of conform to someone else's rules or society's way of living. It's so interesting, this spread, because it's that whole process of editing the self in order to conform. I remember when I was at boarding school, I was like at 11 or something, they gave us these books to take to class, and I just carried the books as I don't know, I put them on my chest and I put my arms around it. And then I was doing that for literally like 10 or 20 seconds. And one of the boys pointed it out and said, hey, look, he carries his books like a girl. Because apparently socially, men carry all these stupid rules that I never got the handbook for. Apparently, the way I was doing it, girls carry their books like that, and boys carry their books on the side. They put one of their arms out and they put the books in their hand and then they kind of hold it like that. So what did I do? I was 11 or 12. I didn't want to be pointed at and called names, so I conformed. What if my initial way of carrying books was better? What if that made me happy? Then on this day, the cards are saying, if that's still an issue for me, if that's still bothering me many years later, then I'm able to break out of that restriction of, boys behave this way, girls behave this way. I'm able to think for myself and rediscover my own joy at carrying books in the first place. There we go. Okay, so this is a return to self, giving yourself permission to be yourself, to be free, to think for yourself and to enjoy life, whether other people approve of that or not. And that is really an acquired skill, Like when we're younger, we all just want to belong and fit in and be loved and respected. There's no room for like doing things differently, and that's so valuable and enriching when someone does that for everyone else who's around it. So the Ace of Swords is a gift. The universe is going to give you amazing ideas that really stem from within you. These are ideas that you can trust. It doesn't come via brainwashing or society or anything like that. So pay attention to ideas, particularly ideas that relate to the future or what you could be doing in future. If we take that card away, it's the idea pops in, you get really excited about it, and you decide to make a fresh start with it in some area. So I want to start my own bicycle business. That seems like a fabulous idea. I'm going to look into renting spaces and getting a supplier of bikes so I can open this shop. Simple as that. And the reason I took this card away, it's only when this limited thinking is gone that you can take that kind of action. So the Sun then is the 19th card of the Major Arcana, and it's a quite advanced card. There are 21 cards, so it's near towards the end. It's when you realize that you have a God-given energy that exists within you, whether other people approve or not, whether you're happy or not. It really exists independently of you almost. It's like your life essence. I remember when I was on holiday recently, I was swimming, and then I kind of sat down for a bit to like catch my breath. And I just sat there for a bit, and I was watching the clouds go by, and I was thinking about stuff. And I was like, if I had to kind of determine where my life is in me, it's kind of like the who am I meditation, who am I? And then you peel away the layers. I was like, where's the life in this body? Is it in the heartbeat? Is it in the blood? And it was so interesting. And you got, eventually I got to the realization that it's everywhere and it's nowhere. And it's a mystery. And I don't know. I think my point with that is realizing that something lives within you that is also, that energy that lives within you. If it's a mystery, it's not going to be governed by the rules of society or your mom or what the school thinks, the school district thinks is good and isn't good. It lives its own things. It lives it via its own rules, its own rhythm, its own life. And this card, the more you align yourself with that, even though you can't understand it fully, but you can certainly feel it, the more you get in touch with that and make friends with it, the freer your life will be. And having access to all this energy then leads to the Empress. The Empress is the third card in the Major Arcana, and it's the mother. It's someone who nurtures something else so much that it takes on a life of its own, and she makes the world more beautiful, and she enriches everything. So any action based on this kind of good, positive energy, and with the Empress getting involved, it's pretty much guaranteed that what you're doing and what you're working towards is going to have a positive outcome, because so much positivity is poured into it. And then finally, with this card appearing at the end here, doing these actions is going to provide physical evidence that your limited thinking is no longer accurate. Because on this day you do things and you see results that then contradict what you believe, and you're able to reevaluate certain thoughts and let go of them because you now know better. Oh wow, look, this is the first time they're ringing that new bell, and I like it. I think it's a lot more. I'm certainly not jumping out of my skin like I usually would. It's kind of peaceful, actually. Nice. Oh, so that was like good news for me on this day. Anyway, number-wise, we've got the ace, which is 1, and 19, that's 20. 3, 23, and 4 is 27. 2 and 7 is 9, and 9 in numerology is spirituality and completion. So you reach the end of the road with some faulty limiting beliefs. You get rid of those, and it's replaced with energy, optimism, and good ideas for the future. So you're starting a wonderful, positive new chapter here and leaving behind outdated and useless thoughts and emotions. Yeah. Have a wonderful day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to audio reading with me. In my personal readings, I use astrology, the tarot, and numerology. I combine all three to answer your questions. And to draw up your birth chart, I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, then order a chart rectification with me, please. That's a process where I need 10 or more life events and I can actually work out your time of birth. It makes it a lot more accurate because the chart changes every 4 minutes. If you have any questions around life purpose, family, finance, travel, personal development, spirituality, anything at all, please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.